Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
How are you?
Drained,
Ah,
but I'm
well,
here.
welcome. All right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. And so what we're doing, sorry, I need to do screen share and it's not, let me get my screen share up. Share. Okay, so what we're working on is DocuSign and any troubleshooting that you're having with DocuSign. So before I begin, are you having any troubleshooting with DocuSign?
I get caught up around the part where I'm downloading from the
Mhm.
computer.
Mm-hmm.
I get confused on how to get the file from the computer, from my computer into DocuSign. Does
Okay,
that make sense?
so are you having people sign electronically?
Say it one more time.
Are you having people sign electronically?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the proper way to do it if people are signing electronically. You go through command. So here's command, and let's say, I think I have a mock person here. Let me double check. Yep, okay. So I got a buyer, and they're in command as an opportunity.
Mhm.
The first thing you need to do is create an opportunity because we have to keep track of that. Then I go over to documents, and then this button will usually say start a transaction.
Mhm.
Now it says go to transaction because I've already started it. So you're going to click that button. And when you click that button, that takes you directly to DocuSign.
Mhm.
Let me log in. Okay, come on. All right, now that I'm in DocuSign, I add the appropriate documents that I'm going to need for my client. So for instance, I'll click on add DocuSign forms. And then on the drop down, what the office has done, if you go to group, the office has made it easier for you to just click on buyer forms and download all of the buyer forms that you may need for this client. You may not need all of these forms for your client, but they've placed all of them forms in here that you could potentially use with a buyer. So instead of me selecting all 15, I'm just going to select the ones that I need for right now.
Mhm.
And then let's see. Or let's say I'm writing an offer and it's in an HOA, 1 to 4 family, the rep agreement, third-party financing, and you click add. Now that you have the documents inside of the room, the first thing you're going to do, so not all of these documents, I'm missing 2 documents here. So if there's a document that's not here, when you click on add, you'll keep library checked.
Mhm.
And then under this form where it says select DocuSign forms, you click on Texas Realtors because all of these forms are Texas Realtors forms. So the form that is missing is the wire notice. So I'll just check in wire notice for buyers. And the other form that, oh, I meant to add a second one. The other form that I noticed it was missing was the vendor notice. So I'll go back in, same process, leave library, select DocuSign forms, Texas Realtors, search wire. Nope, I just did wire, vendor. Did they move vendor? Yeah, let me go back here to Texas 93. 93 is our office and there it is. So what I did was Texas Realtors, that's all of the contracts that Texas Realtors has. Well, vendor notice is a KW Plano exclusive one. So I just click on KW 93, that's our market center number, and vendor. And there it, that looks like vendor list. That's not my vendor notice. So I'm not going to add that until I find the right location for it. But anyway, so now let's say that I need to write a contract and send over a rep agreement. Well, you fill out all the documents right here. So first thing is you just click it. And once you click it, you can type in the form. I don't know why this always puts.
Right. Shalana, just I don't mean to stop you, but
Uh-huh.
I I know how to get to this part. The part I'm talking about is once you get into DocuSign, and say I've downloaded the
that's
seller's
what I'm saying.
disclosure to my computer.
Mhm.
How do I get it from my computer
Click add
into,
and computer, right there,
yeah,
computer. And then you upload.
oh, is that simple?
I'm sorry. Will you please
Yeah.
tell me how you go to the DocuSign from the just first step? I'm so
So
sorry
in
for
command,
that.
no, you're fine. That's
Okay.
what it's for. So once you're in command and you have
Okay.
the opportunity in command, the person in there, you click on, see this right now says go to transaction, but when the person is brand new, it's gonna say start a transaction, and then you'll just click that button.
So here, what you click that one, the shake hand, what is that?
That's
On the
opportunities, and then you create
opportunity.
opportunity. Yep,
Okay, then I have to create opportunity, right?
correct.
Okay, and then I have to import. Okay.
Yep.
And I can write anything here, no problem. Just for to start to import something.
Well, once you create the opportunity, are you talking about creating a mock opportunity?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can just put anything there. And
So this
uh-huh.
every time we have to go through all this process for each buyer or seller.
Correct. If you want your documents to be electronically signed. So your documents, to what Shirley was saying, what if they signed on paper? All you have to do is scan it in, and your iPhone, if you're an iPhone user, has a built-in scanner. It's part
Okay.
of the iPhone feature. All you have to do is scan it to your computer. And then when you get to DocuSign, you just click on that button. I don't know what this is. It just popped up on my screen, but let me try to minimize this. Okay, there it is. You'll click on add and then computer. And then you find the file that you want. So let's say I want to upload third-party financing addendum. But let's say you're working with a buyer and your buyer signed it paper. Well, you don't have to put it here in DocuSign. If you're in command, if you click on under contract and it says seller's disclosure notice, if you click on add a file, you can just click this button right here and it will browse your computer and you just upload the file right there. So you don't necessarily have to go through DocuSign if the documents were already signed by all the parties and they're not in the computer. DocuSign is if you need to send something out for signatures.
Okay, and here's the thing. So these documents, these contracts, we are able to find in a zip form.
There is a button here to go to zip forms. Yes. So if you click on add zip forms, it
So how
will
I can
link a row. If you're once you're in DocuSign, you have to click on add and then zip forms. Now zip forms is going to bring it right back over to DocuSign because command only communicates with DocuSign. So like if you had, let's say for instance, you had a client fill out a seller's disclosure notice in zip forms, it's going to come right over to DocuSign. So now all you have to do is download it and upload it to the MLS or email it to whatever buyer's agent you want to send it to. So command only communicates for right now with DocuSign. So if I clicked on this button, it's basically going to search DocuSign for the document. And then all I have to do is click that and hit add. And now it's in there. Yep. So you don't have to download and then upload because it communicates.
So all the forms which are available in zip form are also available in DocuSign?
Yes, they're in DocuSign before they're in zip form. So basically, so what I'm saying is when you come here, this is DocuSign. DocuSign is connected to command. So when you click on go to transaction, it's taking you directly here. Now we have some agents who prefer to fill their documents out in zip form. So that's why when you click on this add button, zip form is an option. And so you can use zip form, but the same documents that you would use in zip form are right here in DocuSign. You just have to click on DocuSign forms and then whatever form you're looking for, like you can go, so all of the Texas contracts are here. They're all here. So let's say it's a contract for land. You can do an unimproved property contract. So that's a land contract that you could fill out. That's a good question. Any other questions you guys got, or issues that you've been discovering?
That was it for me. I was just trying to figure it out because mine did turn into like zip forms and stuff like that, but I just had such a hard time trying to figure out how to get the the download from off of my computer onto DocuSign. But you
And
explained
I'll
it.
do that one more time, just for anyone else who's curious. When you click on that add button, the first choice is computer, and then you find what you want, click it, and then hit open. Now, understand when it comes over, it is going to come over as a PDF. And so you may want to, you're just going to basically add it to the envelope and then add wherever you need your signatures to go. But good question. Let me delete this out of here. Awesome, awesome. All right, any other questions on that? Because honestly, I'm just gonna really show you guys it's very important that when you are pulling over documents, say for instance, you're in command, and one of the documents that they ask for is the wire notice. If you go in DocuSign and you can't find that, if it's underlined in command, it's clickable. So you can click that. And Shirley, I'm about to demonstrate uploading again. So you can click it. Now you can't fill it in or anything, but you can download it. Go back over here to DocuSign, and DocuSign is drag and click. So I know on my MacBook, it works as drag and click. So now that it's downloaded right here, drag and drop, and it's there. I don't even have to go to add. You can just click and drag and drop it in there. So now that it's there, and I want to put it in, I can put it in an envelope and fill it out the same way I would any other document. You just can't fill out a PDF. It has to go to an envelope. Then you can add the boxes to type it in.
Okay.
Another thing is sometimes people send offers and they send all these individual PDFs. It can be a lot and it can be annoying. So one of the tips that I'm going to show you guys is how do we take all these PDFs and make them one PDF so that we can send to the listing agent. Well, let's say for the listing agent, they need a property, they need the offer, they need the third-party financing. So you check the ones that you need to send, the signed ones, and then up here at the top, there's a button that says combine. When you click combine, oh, because I didn't sign them. Okay, they're gonna have to be the signed ones. I didn't sign them. Let me go to a room that actually has it in there. Hold on one second. I literally was just in here the other day. Where did it go? Okay. So this is what it would look like. You have all the documents in one place, all signed, so that when you're sending an offer, you don't have to download multiple documents and upload and say, here's 20 different PDFs for the same purpose. So this, you'll see the first one was the lead-based paint. Then we go down to the seller's disclosure notice. Then after the seller's disclosure notice, you have, come on, you have the appraisal waiver. And then after the appraisal waiver, you have the 1 to 4 family contract. And then after the 1 to 4 family contract, you have whatever else you need. So maybe it's the third-party financing addendum, or seller's temporary residential lease. But the point is you can combine these in one PDF. And the way that I did that was you click on the ones that are signed. And you click where it says combine. And it's going to ask you to name them. That was like so rude. Sorry, y'all. Then it's going to ask you to name the file. So let's say you're submitting an offer on 123 Main Street offer. And then once you hit save, the order in which you see them here is the order they're going to be saved in. But for me, it's just an offer, so it really doesn't matter. So I hit save, and then it will create one PDF right here.
Okay, question. Can we change the order? Like we can drag here and there so that the first one will be offer letter and then will be
I
disclosure and.
believe the order is based on how you click them. So let me confirm that 1 second.
Okay, it is like the way you click.
You want that
Okay.
one, that one, that one. I'll confirm that in just a second. That one.
So
That
this is how we can change the order.
and combine. And it still did it that same way. There we go. Click and drag.
Okay,
I
but
got-
we can drag there as well.
Yes, that's what I just did. I clicked and dragged. So like I'm gonna take this
Okay,
one
you,
and I'm gonna put it under
okay,
here, and I'm gonna
Okay.
take the addendum and I'm gonna put it under here. And then I'm gonna
okay.
take,
It should be like this.
yep. And then I just drag them to reorder
Okay, and
And-
once you save, where it goes to save?
right here in your folder. So once you save, it will appear here in your folder. So
Okay,
this
so
one
that
right
will
here
be
is the one that I-
separate. That will be separate than others.
What do you mean?
Means when we combine all together and we click save, so that is a different file other than the one.
Correct.
But all,
This
okay,
is this is right here.
Okay.
So what I just showed you guys, this one right here is the one that I clicked on all those little dots and it
Okay.
created one file. So it's not going to go anywhere different. Let me close this out. It's not going to go anywhere different. It's still going to be all right here.
okay,
So all of your individual documents are still here.
Hmm.
All of your documents are here. However, for the purposes of your offer, your
Yeah.
one document with all the pages,
including everything there.
correct. Yeah,
Okay, and
so-
it always stays here, always there. This
Yeah,
folder, all.
unless you archive it. Now to archive, so let's say I've written, which I have on this particular client, so I'm about to archive. We've written offers on different properties. So I'm gonna take these because I don't want to see these anymore, because if I keep all of these in here, it's just gonna confuse me on what's what. I leave anything that says form because I can always click that and edit it. But anything else that is not necessary to what I need, so anything that's a PDF that is, nope, all right, that's all the PDFs and all the sign. I'm going to take and archive it. Archive does not delete. We are not allowed to delete contracts. So unless it's contract that, well, technically they don't want you to delete anything. We're supposed to keep them on file for, I think, 4 or 7 years, I can't recall. But notice it's no longer here. So it's not in front of me right now. But let's say I needed
Yes,
a document. So what I would do is, right now it says active documents. All you got to do is click on archived documents. When you click on archived documents, it's going to show you. So see, there's even more documents here. It's going to show you all the documents that you've archived. Now, let's say I want to bring a document back up.
click
I
it.
want to put it back in there. So I want to put the offer back in there. All you got to do is click it, and then up here, unarchive it. And it's going to ask you to confirm. I've confirmed. And then I go back to, I click this to go back to active documents. Oh, come on. And there it is. It's back in now. So archiving is a way that your documents won't look all scattered and you're like, goodness gracious, I have all these contracts here. I don't know what to do. So in this case, my client's offer was not accepted. So now I need to write another offer. Well, remember, I don't archive any of these because these are Word documents that I can fill in. So all I'm going to do is click this same document, and this document is going to have all the previous offer information from the other client. So once it comes up, you'll see the information is all there. All I'm going to do now is just come in and change the seller's name, the paragraph 2 information, exclusions, pricing information, if I need to choose title company. So I'm going through this paragraph by paragraph to see what do I need to change or do different. But I never archive these that say form because you can always click on and edit these. Any other questions around that?
How
No.
you go to DocuSign? How
Command.
you go
Command. So when you're in
in command? Okay,
and you have your clients, you've clicked on the handshake and maybe you
Okay.
click create an opportunity and you fill it in appropriately. In this case, I already have the opportunity. So I'm going to click on that. And then you go to document.
Document.
If this is your first time coming in documents, you have several tabs. You have consultation and you have under contract and you have close. You need to know which one to click on. And if you are someone who only put your documents in consultation and you hit submit, the Market Center does not receive that. You have to be under contract where all your documents are going to go, and you have to hit submit. That's not it. Once you hit submit, you still have to go over here to offers and commissions. And so what I'll have agents say was, I submitted everything. I submitted everything. And I said, are you sure you submitted offers and commissions? Yes, yes, yes. Well, the Market Center can track that and they can see when it was actually submitted. And what we've been finding is that agents will submit the documents, but they won't go here to offers and commissions. You are supposed to submit, if you have a listing, that listing is supposed to be in here within, I think it's 24 to 48 hours. It should be in here. If you've hired the transaction department, they've already got it in here. If you're with a buyer, your buyer rep agreement should already be in here. And then once you go into contract, it also needs to be in here immediately once it's executed. And then you hit submit. Now, once you hit submit, you still got to go over here to offers and commission. You still got to add this, or the Market Center is not going to know to pay you. So a lot of times agents will say, well, I submitted everything and the title company is asking me for a CDA. Once you've submitted, the Market Center typically within a few hours automatically sends over a CDA. It doesn't matter when it's closing. Or sometimes I'll have people say, well, the price changed. All you have to do instead of coming back in here is shoot Max an email and say, can you please update the CDA for whatever the property address is? But that leads me back to how you're naming your folders. You have to name these the property address, not the client. So this is named the client because the client hasn't purchased the house yet. But if I come over here, you'll see it's named after the address. And it will stay named after the address until they, like these two, are still under their names because this is new construction and the system hasn't recognized the address yet. Once it does recognize the address, this will change to that person's address. And all you have to do is click on the three dots and see view details. And then click on the little pencil. And wrong pencil, sorry. Click on, why won't you let me change property? Very sketchy. Very sketchy that you won't let me change this. So when you're in here, oh, I was there. Property details, see where it says opportunity name? You would just come in here and change it to whatever the property address is, which I had the address here somewhere, but I'll bring it back. That's how the Market Center will be able to identify you go with this property. If they don't have that, they're not going to know that you go with that property. And so you'll see on this one, offers and commissions. So in this one, the offer and commission, this price is actually going to change because she went up. And so you can click on manage commission and you notice I haven't submitted this yet. The reason that I haven't submitted this one yet is because this price is absolutely going to change. She just got hit with the $30,000 additional earnest fee. And I know the price has changed because she's added stuff to this. So when you're here, I want to show you how to submit so that you guys don't get stuck. I mean, I've had people calling me the day of closing and it's unfortunate, but I can't do anything at that point. It has to go through the Market Center. And so what you'll do is you'll come in here and you'll add the offer. And let's just say this is 123 Main Street offer. Once your contract is executed, you need to come in here and do this. So you have the address and whatever the offer date was, this close date is critical because when you get ready to submit this, it will tell you the close date doesn't match. So let's say I submitted this contract and the close date is March 31st. Then you come in here and you select the address. I'll put mine in here because I just might sell my house with all this going on with these crazy offers. I think I'm just going to close my eyes, pick a number and see if I get it. And then you hit parties. Now, the only thing they need in here is whatever is red. Tell my husband every class we're selling our house. What else is in red? Okay. I need to get them to fix that email. And then move this. And then you hit terms. Now in the terms, a lot of this stuff is not required, but it's good to have it in here. So let's say the cash portion is $100,000, and then you have $495 for the financing amount. So A plus B equals C, right? That's right on your contract. So you're pulling this directly off your contract. Then you'll come in and you'll put the earnest money, whatever it is. You don't have to put percentage, just put the dollar amount. It will automatically calculate percentage. Option fee, if there was one, you could put it in there. How many days, you could put it in there. And in this market, I don't see many people doing this, but if you have it, more power to you. Agent analysis, I'll be honest with y'all, I don't even fill this in.
Okay.
Unless I had comments for my client, like if I told my client this was a bad offer, don't accept it, I'll come in here. Pros was quick close. The cons were, let's say 20 days for finance, and box 3 checked on appraisal waiver. Advise client, this was not the best offer. No one's gonna see that but you, and then hit save. Now, I need to get paid. So the next step that you have to do is click accept. This is where people say, well, I went in and I did it. Did you click accept? You have to click accept. Now that you did accept, manage commissions opens up. So now, and you have to do this process with buyers, sellers, and leases. You come in here, manage commission. It auto calculates the commissions. So see, right away, it told me that I didn't fill in the right contract date. So you just click on edit and contract date. Today is the 15th and done. So now that that's in there, then you go down and you manage everything else you need to double check. Now, here's where another issue we've been having, and I want to make sure you guys don't run into this. Well, the office is not going to know where to send the CDA unless you tell them. The way you tell them is you click on add note and you type in the title policy person's, the title company's email address. So this is just what I do. You don't have to do it this way, but I'll say title closing with lawyer's title. Rep is Heather Good. And then I'll Heather G, I think that's it, at LT lawyers title closing.com. Whatever it is, you can literally go to the email, copy and paste it. But if you don't put that email address in there, you're going to get a nice little email from Max letting you know that you basically, do you want to get paid? We need to know where to send the CDA. So once you've done that, you're done. You're done with command. You're done with having to come in here and fill anything in. If you are paying someone a referral, this also lets you put that in there. If you partnered with an agent, like I know some agents, when they get their first, $1 million listing, they don't want to do it by themselves. They'll partner with another agent who has experience in this. So you can add another agent. And so you can adjust the commissions. You can do whatever. You can click on edit payment. And you can, if you want to do KW Cares, if you want to do Bold Scholarship, if you get paid a bonus, that has to go in there as well. Because all bonuses are paid through the broker. So for instance, the way D.R. Horton does it, D.R. Horton charges you, D.R. Horton, when they're giving a bonus, they do it differently. So their bonus says 6%, but it's not going in at 6%. The bonus is 3%, and then they take the other 3% and they do the dollar amount. It is, to me, it is the most confusing way to do commission, but that's how they do it. With Lennar, when they're doing 4%, they just outright do 4%. So it's important that when you get that contract, if you're being paid a bonus, to pay attention to that, because you can enter it in here that way. Once you've done that, you want to make sure, if you don't see a CDA, I didn't mean to do that. If you don't see a CDA within a couple of days, what I would do is come in here, click on documents, and make sure this button is not gray. but this button says submit it. If you neglect to submit a particular contract, when Max comes in here for compliance, he'll put a note in here, rejected. And the reason it's rejected is because you may have left something off. Like for instance, IABS in the state of Texas, you are required to have an IABS sign the moment you are having a substantial real estate conversation with someone. They're gonna check because that if the office gets audited and you don't, by the state of Texas, and you don't have an IABS filled in there, the office will be penalized for that. I'll have some people who say, well, my buyer is refusing to sign a rep agreement. That's fine. They just let them know, hey, I need you to sign this IABS. There's no money attached to that, but it is signifying that you have provided it to them. If they don't want to sign it, what I've done is I've made a little note that said buyer refused to sign on X, Y, and Z date. So I never want to be audited by TREC, and to give them any room to say you were responsible for this. And here's what I've heard: ignorance is not an excuse of the law. So basically, you can't say I didn't know, because the moment you become a licensed real estate agent, it's the broker's responsibility to train you. And if the broker can prove that they offered training on this and you just chose not to do it, then when you look at a lot of the TREC violations, it's some crazy stuff that people are getting in trouble for. It's stuff that doesn't even make sense to me. It's like, come on, that was kind of easy for you to avoid. We've had some where agents have not presented the IABS, and an issue happens down the road and the buyer brings it up to TREC. They never gave me that. You never want to be caught in that position with someone saying they never gave me that. Any questions on that?
No.
So this one, I'm sorry. So this one, this we can say this is our internal office. We have to fill up this one. There is no any concern with our outer. This is for our office for commission, to get our commission.
Correct. This is you getting paid.
Okay.
This
And
is
this we can
basically-
do anytime. Let's suppose plus and minus days, or or we have to go
No,
step by
this is on a
step.
timeline. This is basically, once you get that buyer rep agreement signed, put it in here. Once you get that listing agreement signed, you are required, I believe, listing agreement is 24 to 48 hours that you're supposed to have that in here. Buyer rep agreement, they really haven't been pushing hard back on people, but you're supposed to have it in here. And if you read your policy handbook for when you join KW, that's in there. So did that answer your question? I don't want to say your name wrong.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hold on. I want to make sure I say your name right. Kawan? Did I say that right?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Did I answer that correctly for you?
Yeah, it's Kaiwan. It's okay.
Okay, perfect. Good questions. What else? Anybody else have questions? Listen, I know people who use .loop, and that's fine, but you still have to go through command if you want to get paid. It is a system. It's a system that was put in place to keep track of the documents, and not saying that the other systems weren't, but it's easier for me as an agent, instead of having to go to .loop and then go to Green Sheets and then do this, and we're not using Green Sheets. I had an agent not too long ago use Green Sheets. We're done with Green Sheets. Please make sure you're using command. All right, guys, any other questions? I'm here to help you troubleshoot if you're having issues. All right, well, that's all I got for you guys today. Look at that, y'all in and out in 30 minutes. Look at that.
It worked out.
All right, well, if you have any questions or you do end up needing anything, please reach out to me and I would love to help you troubleshoot. We also have Scott Leroy that will help troubleshoot as well. And going forward, Scott Leroy, they have trainings every single week. Get the schedule. It should be on the calendar. Jump on those trainings because they do more than just DocuSign. They'll also teach you how to do Facebook ads and how to troubleshoot and all that fun stuff. So if you don't have anything for me, guys, have a wonderful day, productive week, and go get that money.
All right, thank you,
Okay.
Shalita.
You're welcome.
I have question.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, we have to add the contact name.
Correct. Let me pull it
But
back
no,
up.
okay, and then you are saying that we have to start with their address.
Well, no, if you don't have a property for them yet, then you're just gonna name it after them. So I'm gonna start from scratch. I'm gonna add you as if you're a new buyer for me. So, let's say I'm on the opportunities. Well, no, I wanna go here first. Let's say
Yeah.
I just met you and you wanna buy a house. First thing I'm gonna do is come here, and so I have command, and you might too, linked to my email and my phone, which means when I get a new number contact, it automatically syncs here. You might have that set up. I doubt I have you in here, but let's see. No, okay. So then I click on create a contact. Spell your first name for me.
Kaiwan. Kaiwan. Yeah. Khan, yes.
And then I would put an email here for you. What's your email?
It's realtorkaiwan@gmail.
And your phone number?
214-892-5333.
Okay, then you can choose to do this, agent. You can choose to add tags. You don't have to. No, I don't want to add more information.
So
Why
this
can't I-
doesn't matter, if you select a relationship, anything, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. For me, I'm very simple with it. I don't.
Okay.
This is more for when you are putting people on smart plans. You
Yeah.
absolutely want to have that checked, because what that
Okay.
means is if I create a smart plan and I want it to go to all real estate agents, then this makes it super easy, or you'll have to come in and do it one by one. Now,
Okay.
additional contact information, I do put in address, I do put in Facebook URL, I do put in birthdays because I send stuff out to my people. So I do put all that information in there, the careers, all that stuff. And now I hit create. So there's two ways you can get to DocuSign. So now I'm going to search your name again, and you should come up.
Last name.
There
Okay.
you go, right there. So let's say I click on your name and I'm
Okay.
looking, and then you call me and you say, oh, I want to buy a house. Well,
Okay.
you can click right on opportunities from here.
Okay.
So if I clicked on opportunities, it will take me right to the opportunity for you. So that's one way to do it. You can click
Okay.
on create opportunity.
Okay. Second way. Okay.
Second way to do it is click on the handshake
Okay.
and then hit.
It's the
create
same thing. Yeah. Okay.
Now, here's tricky. You have to pay attention to the opportunity type, because I have found that once you select one, it does not let you edit it. So
Yeah.
make sure you click that and understand if it's a listing, a buyer, if you're representing the landlord or you're representing the tenant. And
So-
then when I create the name, if it's a listing, I'm going to put the property address. So in this case,
Okay.
let's say,
So you're talking about at this place, we have to write down property address.
correct. If it's a listing, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the property address. I'm gonna put my commission rate that I'm charging in there. I'm gonna put my phase and when they're ready to list, and just have that in there. But it's either gonna be a listing, a buyer, a landlord, or a tenant. So most people rush through this and they'll select the wrong one and they're like, oh crap, how do I change it? We haven't been able to discover that secret magic yet. And then you hit
Okay.
create.
And then,
Now here's the profile. There's the profile. Now you just want to click on documents.
documents. Okay.
And
Import the
you see here
document.
where it says start a transaction? That's
Yeah.
going to take you to DocuSign.
Okay.
So when you click that, it's going to take you directly to DocuSign and start a brand new room for that person. I won't click it or it's going to create a room. But
Okay.
that's what it looks like when you're very first time.
Okay, and all these contracts or documents inside, so once you import for the very first time, it always be there.
Correct.
For-
Once you put it in here, it's going to be in here until you move it. And there's a couple of ways you can move it.
Okay,
Let me show you how you can move it. I wonder if I have documents in here for him. Let me check. If not, I'll add some. Okay, let me add a document in here so I can show you what we do with that document. So to add it, I'm going to click on add a file. And because it's already connected to command, I'm going to click DocuSign because it's already connected to DocuSign, sorry. And
Okay.
information about brokerage services. Now, when you come in here, this PDF is going to be here. You need to make sure it says signed. And then I hit assign. And now the document is right there. So let's say I need to change it because it's the wrong document. You can click on these three dots
and then remove. Okay.
Or you can click on the actual document and you can see the document, but you can't, there is a way you can replace it. Let me get back over here. My computer, for whatever reason, I got this box up and it will not let me get rid of it. Okay, so you can do remove and it will ask you, are you sure you want to remove it? But there is a way that I can replace this document. Let me go back. Or did they change it?
And you also haven't tell how to drag the sign.
Okay, so that option is no longer there. So you either have to remove or print it,
Okay,
but when you remove it, you just replace it with the one that you want.
okay.
And go ahead, what was your question? I'm sorry.
And once you have to assign the sign, electronic sign, so you have to drag, how you have to do that one then?
That's in DocuSign. So you'll
Yeah,
have to be
okay.
back here in DocuSign and you'll select the documents that you need to have signed. So say for
Click
instance,
anyone. Anyone, just click anything.
so I'm gonna go here to this one. Oh, come on. Did not mean to click that. Hold on one
So
second.
how you come in DocuSign? You just log into DocuSign separately?
No, remember I clicked on go to
Okay,
transaction.
okay,
And when you click on that, it automatically logs you into DocuSign. I mean, you'll have to put your email and your password, but when you're in command and I click on this button right here, so if I click this button, it's gonna automatically take me to command. And so
okay, but
now it's that room in
here
command.
is the thing for us, we don't have this option. We have the means we are the new and we don't have something like this. I can show you if you can see I have this one, if you can see.
Because you're not inside, you have to go inside. You have to go
So
inside of the person's opportunity. So you'll have to create an opportunity. So if you clicked on create an opportunity and go through those same steps that I just showed you in order to get inside. So you're now creating that for someone.
okay, and client, what we have to put in client, this is a client,
That's up to you. So, okay, I'm gonna go back over it one more time. Hold on, let me find, I think I just did this one. Let me archive this one. No, this isn't it. Let me go back to listing. Archive. When you click on create an opportunity, you name it the listing, you have to put the
Okay.
client in there. This is why the
okay, so
client
this
has,
is from the contact, from the contacts.
the
It will
client has to be in
pick-
contact, correct.
Okay, okay,
If the client is not in contact, it will not let you put a name there. It will show up blank. And so once you have that, you're changing the opportunity name to the address of the property.
okay,
If you would like, I suggest you do one on yourself so you can practice it. And then
Okay.
you do put a commission rate. And so whatever
okay,
rate you
yeah,
charge,
okay,
and then hit create. Once you hit create, that brings you here. Now that you're here, you click on,
then go to the document. Okay,
once you click on documents, this is gonna be this like darkish gray. It says
yeah,
start
I
a
understand,
transaction.
okay, I'm okay with all
Yeah,
this.
start a transaction. And when you do that, it's gonna bring you here. Well, you'll have to
Okay.
log in and then it will bring you here. Now, you want your client to sign documents, you'll have to, oops. When you hover over the document, this little circle appears.
Yeah,
So
okay, I
you'll
can
click
see,
the
we
little
have to
circle
select, yeah.
and then you create an envelope.
Okay,
And so here's the tips and tricks with the envelopes. Let's say you have an envelope and the first thing here is affiliate business disclosure. Well, first of all, you want to name the envelope, test one. And then let's say, for instance, you don't want them to sign these documents in this order. You can click and drag to change the order in which they'll sign. Then let's say you get in here and you realize you're missing a document. You can click on where it says room document, find the one that you're missing. Let's say,
anything is okay.
and then add selected. Now you're gonna come down here to recipients. So if you're one of the recipients, like it's a buyer or seller rep agreement,
Okay, I
when you
understand
click
this
the
one.
button, then you select your name. Next, I'm gonna select my name so you guys can see what happens when your clients get it. Next, I'm gonna add my other parties. So what I did was I clicked on email address. I
Yeah.
type in their first and last name, their email address. If there's another person, you can add them. Then you can change the signing order. So
Yeah,
let's
one
say I
second.
want them to sign before me. You can do that. Me, I don't really care. Then you have a message for them. Listing your home docs. You can add a message here if you like. That's what they'll get. And then you click on next. Now, once you're here, so broker's printed name. Well, I didn't get the chance to type that, so I'm going to type it now. You're going to click on text.
Okay. So every
And
time
then
we have to do this one. We have to type the name, or is not
If
by
you-
default?
No, yes. If it's a PDF, you'll have to do this. Anytime a document comes over as a PDF. This, I believe, is the only one that comes over as a PDF. Then you'll hit read only. And then in the text box, you'll type in,
Okay, here. Okay.
okay? Then the next is asking for signature. Broker's associate signature is your signature. So you'll click on this drop down right here to change it from your client to you. Then hit signature, drop it where you want. The next thing you can do is click on date signed and drop it where you want.
Okay.
If you need to add check boxes, you're gonna come right over here and click on checkbox. Drop it where you want it. Then you're gonna come over here, you're gonna check read only, and then checkbox values and check it. Then you can go down to the next. So you notice how this one already has the name in there? The only thing I need to do is write the notice date, and all you gotta do for that is click on text,
Yes.
drop it, and add the date.
Okay.
Oh, wow, that is not the year. And then also make sure you click read only. The reason you click read only is because if you don't, when your client gets this, it's gonna tell your client to fill that in. I don't want my clients editing anything on this contract. So if you don't click read only, you're giving your client editing rights. And so let's see, now where it says signature, I'm basically clicking signature and I drop it. Do the same for the client. And then let's see, what does this one say? Yep. And so I click on signature and I drop it, date sign, and I drop it. Now let's say I'm ready for signatures. Or let's say I forgot a document. What you're gonna do is click this button here that says back. Some people say, oh my goodness, if I hit back, I'm gonna lose my information. It auto saves. So you will not lose anything. So you'll hit the back button. Or let's say you added a checkbox or you added a date and you don't want it there. You'll click on
Okay.
what you don't want and hit delete.
Okay.
Or let's say you put the wrong signature here. This actually needs to be the seller. Well, you'll come over here, click the drop down, change it to who you want it to be, and it will change.
Okay.
Now you're ready for them to get it to sign it. You hit send. I tell my husband, don't sign this, because he will sign it.
Then he have to pay 7% commission.
Exactly. He's gonna be like, wait a minute, why are you trying to sell the house and I still live here? So you notice what happened right here. It says needs my signature. So this is gonna pop up to tell you that it needs your signature. So you're just gonna click it and you're gonna click on sign. Now let's say you sent this to your client and they haven't sent it. You can click on resend or send again. See
Okay.
where it says resend? You can hit resend and the system will automatically send it again. But for me, you need to sign as the agent, the buyer's rep agreement, right? Or whatever agreement you have. So you'll hit the sign button. And then, and this is exactly what it's gonna look like for your client. They'll hit continue and they'll hit start. Now, when they hit start, they think, oh, it already signed. No, they actually have to come over here, click that button. And now it's signed and then they hit finish. I just sold my house, yay. I think I'm gonna list it for
Okay.
400,000.
Hi,
Congratulations.
Selena.
Hello,
Hello.
hello.
I have
So,
a question.
Okay,
My question is, if you send it to your client and then you realize that you didn't put all of the signature or initials where they need to go, how can you, I guess,
So
put
you
that in
click
there
on the
and
box,
resend?
and then
Uh-huh.
you can, if they've, you cannot, if you can until someone signs. Once one of
Oh,
your clients signs, you cannot.
okay,
So
they
before
didn't
they
sign.
sign, you click on correct, and then it brings you to here,
Mhm.
and you just hit edit signing fields.
Edit signing fields.
And then it brings you back to the contract. And now you can edit wherever you need the person to sign. So for instance, I need him to sign over here where it says seller,
Mhm.
and then date signed. And let me see if there's anything else I need him to sign. I need him to sign right there, and then continue.
Okay, thank you.
As long as they haven't signed, you're good. And then you can hit send.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, good questions. Any other questions I can help answer for you guys? Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for jumping in. If you have any other questions, definitely let me know. It's really, I'll be honest, I despised with a deep passion and disdain, I despised DocuSign. I wanted to stay with that loop. I love that loop. I didn't want to change. And honestly, it's not as horrific as I made it seem when we first switched over. It's actually really easy to use. You just got to come in and practice. So you'll notice in here, I have my husband buying a house and selling a house because I use his account to practice. So if you have not already done so, just create a dummy account and practice on that. Practice adding, practice offers and commission because you want to get paid. No one sees these notes, it's just you, but you want to get in there and you want to practice, okay? Awesome, guys.
Yes,
Yep. Uh-huh.
okay. So once you create, just know the way you create, so that creating you are not able to delete.
Creating the actual folder.
Yeah, the first one. When you click for the opportunity, so when you click the address and
You will
something,
yeah, no. So are you referring to this particular
Yes.
opportunity?
in the on the shake hands, when you press the shake hands from the scratch, and you create opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
click on create opportunity. Okay, so here you want to do somebody or something. So once you create, are you able to delete that one?
So here's how you get rid of it. So I created this opportunity and
Yeah,
I no longer want to move forward with it. You click
yeah,
on the three dots, archive opportunity,
and we are
archive,
all.
and it disappears.
So means we are not able to delete the way you told us.
Correct. You can delete stuff that's archived. I just don't recommend it because if you ever need to pull that up for whatever reason, it's
No, just for
in the
to
system.
have a practice, just to
Yeah,
make practice.
yeah.
So once we create, we are not able to delete. So it will be there. So we have to do archive.
Right. You just click on archive. Now, again, there is a way in settings that you can delete anything that you archived. I just don't recommend it, but you can actually delete the
No,
folder.
no, we are okay with archive. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Good
Okay.
question.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Well, thank you
Okay.
so much and you enjoy the rest of your week.
Okay. You too. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Bye.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. Bye-bye.